Yes, welcome, look up. Forget about whatever you're writing and look up to the board. Look up to the board. Today we are going to be learning about the principles of democratic what? Government. When you say that this system of government here is democratic, what are some of the principles? What are some of the things that you see when you see that you say these people are truly practicing democracy? Yes, you know that the democracy in Nigeria is not the same as the one in the USA. You understand? It's similar. But in Nigeria, rule of law, we don't allow the rule of law to happen fully the way it should. You understand? You see that the DSS, they arrested one man. You know the man that is arrested, been in DSS net for a very long time. Sambo Dasuki, former NSC. Yeah. The court has said that this man is granted bail. But the government of Nigeria have not left the man. The man is still in prison. Why? Does it mean that the DSS and some aspects of the government are above the law? You understand? The rule of law states that there is absolute supremacy or predominance of the law over what? Everybody. Over what? Everybody. So if the law says this, that's what is done. You understand? If you go to America and the court says this, everybody is expected to obey what the court says. Is it not? That is normal. Because it's the duty of the judiciary to interpret the law and say some certain things at some certain time. But you see that Nigeria is not actually practicing full democracy. That's why we say nascent democracy. Our democracy is still growing. Yeah, but what?
But you know, the problem of the Nigerian government were highly corrupt. Maybe judiciary, maybe the Sugi can feel bribe them.
Yes.
That's what that they will grant him to do.
You see?
Like the United States of America.
That's what is happening. You understand? Yeah. There are many things that are structuring, affecting our democracy, that is making it not to be the way it should. You understand? So when you talk about the principles of democracy, these are the principles. Number one, there is what we call collective what? Responsibility. The cabinet is made up of the president and the ministers, is it not? When they take a decision, it is collective. You understand? They bear the responsibility of what comes out of the decision that they have taken. If they decide that we don't want to import rice again, they stop importing rice. Is that clear? If the stopping of importation of rice, if it affects the country well, you say, yeah, this government is trying. You understand? But if you stop the importation of rice and the prices of food go up and people are suffering, it is also their responsibility to what? Accept that they have done wrong. Is that clear? Collective responsibility. Then you have what we call individual what? Responsibility. Which means that if you're a minister and you're heading a particular ministry, like Babatunde Fashola, which ministry is he heading? Three ministries under one, right? Power and housing and works, is it not? So if there is no light, people are complaining. It's his responsibility to make sure that the infrastructures and the right decisions are taken for there to be light in the nation, is it not? So that is his responsibility of his ministry. Individual what? Responsibility. So collective responsibility is used in the parliamentary system of government. As used in parliamentary system of government means that all members of the cabinet are collectively what? Accountable for their decision. But when you talk about individual responsibility, you say that ministers are singularly what? Responsible for all the decisions and action taken in their particular what? Ministry. Is that clear? So there should be accountability whenever you're talking about democratic governance. Is that clear? You have to be accountable to the people that have voted you in. Is it not? Then you have what we call rule of law. Rule of law simply means that there is absolute supremacy or predominance of law over what? Everybody. Both the rulers and the what? Ruled. Is that clear? The law is governing, the law of the land is governing everybody. There's no section of the government that should, if the law says that this is what should happen, this person says they are above the law. The DSS is not above the law. The Senate is not above the law. the police is not above the law, the EFCC is not above the law, the president is not above the law, the people are not above the law. Is that clear? The rule of law, the principle of the rule of law say that the law was predominance and supremacy over everybody in the land. You understand? What applies to A should also apply to what? B. So those are the what? Principles of what? Democratic what? Governance. Principles of what? Democratic governance. The main principle and feature of rule of law are equality before the law. Are what? Equality before the law. Features of rule of law. How do you know that? How do you know that rule of law is being obeyed? Number one is what we call equality of what? Equality before the law. Equality before the law. You know what that means? All men are equal before the laws of the land. This means that no one is above the law, and the law is no respecter of what? Person. If a DSS man kills somebody, it was the crime, murder, is it not? If I kill somebody, what's the crime? It's the same crime. It doesn't apply differently. Everybody is equal to the law. Equality before the law. Then number two aspect of rule of law is impartiality. Number two aspect is what? Impartiality. If I commit murder and you sentence me to a life imprisonment, if a pastor commits murder, what is the sentence? Life imprisonment. Is it not? If the governor commits murder, what's the life imprisonment? There should be what? Impartiality. Everybody gets equal treatment. Then number three, the rights of the individual. Number three is what? Rights of the individual. Rights of the individual. Everybody has rights. This principle states that the citizens of the country should enjoy certain basic inalienable rights and liberties under the law, violation of which they have the right to seek redress in the law. So this one could also be said to be human rights. Is it not? Right to free speech. Should be able to talk. Is it not? Right to assembly. Should be able to gather together and discuss. Isn't it? So when there is rule of law, you find out that there is equality before the law, there is impartiality, and there is right of the what? Individual or human right. So those are the three things that you use in knowing whether there is what? Rule of law. Whether there is what? Rule of law.